Wary observations, righteous discussions, unite people. It's the Word Up Podcast. Today, it's all about blame all men. I'm your host, OMNIETC, Omni, etc. And let's jump on in. Bit of housekeeping. If you lovely people, all you lovely people, come in, hit the like button, subscribe, among other things. Hit the like button, subscribe for me, and hit that notification bell. And make sure when you hit that notification bell, it says personalize. Okay, make sure it says personalize on it. Not personalized, make sure it says all, not personalized. That way you get the stream, the shorts, and everything. Be dropping more shorts, not related to the podcast, just more shorts in general. I'm thinking about renaming the channel, the YouTube channel, just my name. You know what I'm saying? Stuff's in the works, folks, but that's neither here nor there. Today we are here to blame all men. And the reason why I say this is because, it seems like it only seems right. It seems like this is the core, or should I say, the centralized theme now. Let me adjust my light real quick. Building the plane while we're flying it, folks, and the like. But it seems like society must blame all men. That's what it seems like. Seems like that's what's happening now. That's what we're doing now, is blaming all men. It seems like the solution to every problem. You know how they say when you have a hammer, every problem looks like a nail? Well, it seems like the solution to every problem nowadays is to blame all men. Okay? I mean, listen. We all know about Mr. Samuels. We all know that Kevin Samuels, to a lot of people, was a problem. No. This gentleman didn't have solutions. He only brought problems forth. You know what I'm saying? He invited people on the panel. He had a panel show. For those of you that aren't familiar with Kevin Samuels, but you would have to be living under a rock in order not to be familiar with who Kevin Samuels is. At the height of COVID, he had a show, and he invited people, particularly women, onto said show. Before he had before live streaming was so easily accessible and everybody could live stream, and he had a live streaming show. Before that, he had a bunch of content that was geared towards making men better. But now, towards the end of his life, rest in peace, the legend. He invited women onto his show. And these women, he would ask very particular questions, and these women would divulge to him, God in the world, details about their lives. And it seemed like the core theme amongst all of these women is that they were never at fault. According to their account, they were never at fault. Only the men in the situation were to blame. So it just seems like there's this core centralized theme in all of this. Kevin Samuels, even in Andrew Tate's situation, We just got done talking about Andrew Tate on the last podcast. Even in Andrew Tate's current predicament, it seems like, this is what I want to say, the lover boy method when it comes to, we're going to say X trafficking. I don't know if it's a banned term on YouTube. I ain't big enough to shake the YouTube cage, to rattle the YouTube cage. When it comes to the lover boy method, when you basically get the woman to fall in love with you and then have her perform sexual acts on your behalf in exchange for money, whatever. You get the woman to fall in love with you. So she fell in love with you and she then chose to do whatever it is that you asked of her. So I'm touching on that because if a woman is in love with you and you ask her to do anything for you, the consequences of you asking her to do things for you falls on you. Doesn't fall on her. So that means all the women that have love for me are not responsible for their actions if I ask them to do something for me and it turns out bad. If there's a huge downside. You know how risky that is? Basically what they're saying is that men are the boss. By default, men are the boss and women are employees. Because on the job, how it works is if you're a supervisor and someone underneath you messes up, that still falls at your feet. So in every given situation in life, men are to be considered the leaders. Gets a little twisted, a little dangerous. Watch your boys listen to their mothers if men are by default, by birth. That's what they're communicating to me. Tell me if my logic is flawed. I'm gonna reel this out. I'm gonna put this on TikTok. Tell me if my logic is flawed. The lover boy method. The lover boy method. Forget Andrew Tate, things that he says, the inflammatory statements, all of that. Let's just analyze and break down the lover boy method. A woman falls in love with you. At that particular point, her actions are no longer her own. She goes out and robs a bank. She'll just say that my man asked me to do it. You see how dangerous this is? This line of thinking where women have no accountability, take no account for their actions. Women will go scot-free from jail so long as they're in a relationship and commit crime. The excuse can then be, well, my man made me do it. The lover boy method is a very dangerous doctrine for anybody to believe in. I think it needs to be off of the books and out of people's minds. If she was stupid for doing the crime, she was stupid for getting involved with the man that would have her do the crime. Everybody got choices. Shout out to E40. That's what I believe. Everybody got choices. When it came to women being able to terminate pregnancies, I believe she should have the option to do so. I also believe it shouldn't be used as birth control. But should she have that as an option? Yes. It's her choice. So it's her body and her choice to terminate a life or a potential life. But it's not her choice, her body, or her choice when she is having sex for money. I don't know, y'all decide. But I bring all that up to say, we're going to be weaker as a society when we choose to blame all men and not hold any women accountable for their actions. In the long term. I know there's a lot of women that favor debauchery and the like, and they're getting their rocks off now, and it seems like a lot of fun when you're young. But the long-term outlook, how this is going to progress and play out, got a couple of clips for you. One in which a woman takes no accountability. And the other one that we're not talking about. We love to talk about these figures, Kevin Samuels, Andrew Tate, and the like. You know what I'm saying, on that side of YouTube, that particular side of YouTube. But what we don't talk about is who gets lost in the stories. You know who the most vulnerable in America is? You know who the most vulnerable in the world? You know who the most unprotected person is in the entire world? I took a pause just so you could say black women or women in general. It's not true. The most unprotected human beings on the face of the planet are children, especially when they have parents that aren't acting in their best interests. How does all this tie in? Let's take a look at the footage. You're gonna be amazed at what you see, what you're about to see. All right, so, no, not Shannon Sharpe. Okay. First things first, we're gonna deal with this clip from Kendra G. Okay. Fair use, before I get started, fair use, before I start mixing it up. But this clip from Kendra G right here. And woman who thinks that she's interesting enough to be saying what she's saying. And you're going to see that she's holding a child. But is she acting in that child's best interest? Let's just get into it.
So what kind of man are you looking for?
Well,
how old is your daughter?
She's 9 months.
So where's her father? What's going on with you guys?
He's in the hospital, so yeah, he's very ill, so I'm looking.
He's in the hospital. For those of you that don't know, Kendra G is a relationship dating coach and the like. And she was originally on Kevin Samuels' show. And then she started doing Kevin Samuels' show. He denounced, critiqued. I don't know if she was among the many women that were tap dancing on the man's grave when he passed. Classy. But if she was, shame on her. If she wasn't, she gets no points because she has yet to admit that she pretty much copy and pasted Kevin Samuels' show. However, she was not a the only difference is that she markets herself as a relationship/dating coach, while Kevin has always said that he is an image consultant. He's an image consultant. He's not a relationship coach. But he saw what was going on in the black community and he wanted to put a stop to it. Well, you're about to find out. Reasons like this one.
Looking for like a stepfather.
Her husband, let me run that back because I said a lot of things that probably distracted you from what she was saying. Hold on.
Guys. So what kind of man are you looking for? Wait, how old is your daughter?
She's 9 months.
So where's her father? What's going on with you guys?
He's in the hospital, so yeah, he's very ill, so I'm looking for like a stepfather.
That man is not dead yet. He probably has a foot in the grave. He's not dead, but she's looking for a stepfather. Let me play it back so you can hear it clearly.
What's going on with you guys?
He's in the hospital, so yeah, he's very ill, so I'm looking for like a stepfather.
Let's continue.
Wait, so you broke up with him while he's in the hospital?
Oh, Kendra. Kendra, you don't understand what monkey branching is. Break up? She hasn't secured the next one. That's why she's here. She hasn't secured the next available bachelor. She hasn't secured a new man. That's why she's on your show, Kendra. She's on your show because she hasn't secured a man yet. So she needs to secure a man before she leaves the first one. Monkey branching. Swinging from dick to dick. Hold on.
Wait, so you broke up with him while he's in the hospital?
No, I didn't break up with him.
Were y'all not together when he went to the hospital?
Yeah, we're still together.
Wait, okay.
I'm looking for like just in case. A stepfather just in case.
Just in case if he passes away?
Right.
Are you serious?
Yes, Kendra. You have to have one in a chamber, Kendra. Come on now.
But wait, shouldn't you be holding him down? Why is he in the hospital?
I can't go to the hospital because it's like, all the hospitals are shut down.
Okay, but shouldn't you be waiting to see, like, is it not looking good?
It's not looking good.
Are you a comedian?
No, Kendra, I'm not a comedian. I'm serious.
This is serious.
I'm serious. We have a type of relationship that's like, we're very realistic. My husband is much older than me as well.
How old is your husband?
He's 65. He'll be 66 in a month or less, a little bit less than a month.
How old are you?
32.
Well, I hope your husband survives, and I hope
too.
And then I hope he divorces your ass, because
absolutely, as he should. Let's get back to it. Let's break this up. So you just heard, okay, this woman on Kendra G. This woman on Kendra G just said, actually, this clip is like 2 years old. She didn't just say it, but this woman on Kendra G just said she has a husband. He's probably dead now. This is a 2-year-old clip, but she has a husband. Okay. In the hospital. She's holding their 9-month-old child. At the time was 9-month-old. And she is online in front of God and everybody looking for her next husband. Man doesn't even have a foot in the grave yet. We don't know how far along he is, but she said he's in the hospital. It doesn't look good. If he gets better, the first thing If I was getting better, the first thing that I would do as that man is divorce you. You get nothing. I take the child, and you don't even get. Well, you know what? No, I wouldn't say that she wouldn't give visitation rights to the child, but I have the child in my custody because Lord knows, with that type of mindset, what you would try to manipulate in the court system on child support and the like. So if it looked like you were well taken care of, you got a roof over your head. You're holding on to the child. He's in the hospital while you're at the home. So it seems like he's doing what he's supposed to. I could be wrong. And that's what you would call, monkey branching. Like monkey bars that, you know what I'm saying? Remember the playgrounds that had the monkey bar? I know they got all the soft stuff now, but we used to have metal monkey bars. They call them monkey bars at school. Kids would swing from one to the next, build up your upper body strength. It's absolutely terrible. Swinging from dick to dick. He ain't even dead yet. She not gonna break up with him. She ain't gonna wait for him to die. But it's still his fault. It's still his fault because it's blame all men. He did something to make her feel like she needed to find another man before, you know what I'm saying, the funeral. Not even before the funeral, before death. It's not even dead yet, but she's on a public platform. Well known, Kendra G, as of this broadcast, got 147K subscribers. Well-known platform. And she is publicly looking for another man. She ain't getting it on the side. She ain't trying to deal with anybody that he don't know about. This video's got 13,000 views. Okay? That clip had 13,000 views. Just the clip. The actual show probably had more. The original broadcast probably had more. But publicly, might as well did it while he was standing right there next to her. It's the same level of respect, really. Might as well did it while he was alive and well and standing right next to you, ma'am. I don't understand it. Next story is a heartbreaking one for me. Keep in mind, the old girl had the child on her hip. That was his daughter, as she said. That was the father. Kendra asked if that was the father. Next story, heartbreaker for me. Mari Osby. This is why I really get mad at social media about, because nobody's talking about this young little girl. The reason why nobody's talking about this little girl, because of what the show title is Blame All Men. And this little girl was killed by her mother for, specifically, the offense. The reason why her mother was so outraged, specifically, is because her mother felt like her daughter loved her father more than she loved her mother. Now, a mature adult would know different. Also, this woman was taking recreational drugs. She was on PCP. Okay. But a mature person in their right mind would know that the words of a child come with very little understanding. You have to be, if you're going to walk into parenthood, I suggest you be prepared not just for your children to love you, but also be prepared for them to say, I hate you as well. Because being a parent doesn't mean being their friend. Being a parent it means being their guide, their mentor, being someone to let them know what their boundaries are, being someone to educate them about how the world really works. Not just that BS that they get fed at public school. That's what it means to be a parent. But apparently, a lot of people didn't get the memo. So, we're going to get into this story. I suggest, because some of these details are just, I suggest that if you're weak of stomach, weak of heart, faint of heart, that sort of thing, you know, this one isn't for you. And I'll hold you. I ain't gonna hold you to it. So, let's get to it.
New details are emerging about the mother who police say admitted murdering her.
This clip is brought to us by way of CBS Chicago. Okay. CBS 2 in Chicago. Fair use, fair use, fair use. And let me make sure I got should be a little quicker.
8-year-old daughter in Chicago's Uptown neighborhood last week. CBS 2 was first to tell you about a recent visit to the home by the state's Child Welfare Agency. CBS 2's Chris Tye live now in the newsroom with the larger questions that are still lingering about that interaction before the girl's death. Chris?
Joe, this was a family on the radar of the Department of Children and Family Services for 5 years. Most recently, it was a domestic violence investigation that brought them back to that home. But 1 week...
5 years she's been under investigation. 5 years. And this is how you can tell that they don't really care about what happens in the hood. You know what I'm saying? 5 years. And this happened under their watch. But let's continue.
Now, since the death of 8-year-old Amaria Osby, and DCFS sharing very little about their visit to the home just hours before her murder.
Hi, it's Amaria. It's a day.
It was 1 week ago today the world lost Amaria Osby. Her family calls her an angel who in such a short time on this earth touched many hearts. An intelligent girl, they say, whose mother now admits to her murder. On tape, police say 38-year-old Andrea Hagler says she was on PCP in their Uptown apartment when she asphyxiated Amaria after bedtime prayers. Her mother says she felt her daughter didn't love her anymore and she loved her dad more.
So at the end of the day, folks, it's the man's fault because the child loved the man more. You understand the logic? It's the man's fault for being more lovable than the mother in the child's eyes. And that's why the daughter had to go, because the man was more loved than the mother was. That's why he had to go. Understand, drugs were involved, but drugs is like money, is like other substances, like liquor, like money. It just makes you more of what you already are feeling. So before the PCP, she was feeling that. That's why she took the PCP, because she thought the PCP was a downer instead of was an upper, I guess emotionally an upper instead of a downer, or something to mellow her out and take her mind off of things. But it only exacerbated what she was feeling, to the point where she felt like taking the child's life was the right thing to do. Let's continue.
The 8-year-old's final words were, "Mama, stop." Hagler failed in a suicide attempt and is now charged with murder. Their home, later sealed off by the medical examiner tape, was visited hours before that murder by the state Child Welfare Agency. The Department of Children and Family Services tell us they were investigating a domestic violence incident between 2 adults in the home. Last week, they told CBS 2 there had been no allegations of abuse or neglect against the youth at the residence. They've modified that statement now, while still saying there was no sign of abuse towards children here. The investigation of domestic violence falls under the category of neglect.
Domestic violence. And that domestic violence wasn't with the child's father. They've been separated for a while. Understand? So, you know what I'm saying? they've been separated for a while. They parted ways on a relationship level. So it wasn't domestic violence with the child's father. Why have other men around your kids? I've never understood this. If I have kids and me and my current girl parted ways, I'm never having a woman around that child. And of course, it does fall under neglect. Because let me tell you something. You know what? I'm done with this clip. The rest of the story just, it's disgusting to me, honestly. This girl was failed on so many levels. This girl was failed on so many levels. Men, let me tell you something. When you split up, you can't get mad at how a household is ran that you're no longer a part of. I'm not really here to blame men, but that is just a fact. 2, this girl was failed because her mother failed her, the state failed her, DCF or whatever they got out in Chicago, Child Protective Services in Chicago failed her. And the mother, the one that was supposed to look after her. Why do you have other people around that are bad influences or not good for the child? The only people who you should have around your kids are the ones that you feel are good to be around your kids. That's one. You should never have. See, this is what most people don't understand about kids. Once you have kids, it's no longer about you. It's not about you. You can still have hopes, dreams, and aspirations. I'm not saying that you can't. But the life that didn't ask to be here should be top priority. Should be the primary focus. And the reason why this story doesn't get brought up, this story right here about Ahmaud Arbery, and the reason why the quote unquote black community isn't talking about it, it's because we have this need. And this need is perpetuated throughout society for women in general, to not hold them accountable. But we have this need, especially with black women, to never hold them accountable and never talk about anything that gets done wrong on their behalf. Because some will still try to twist it and be like, it's still the man's fault. And true enough, like I said earlier, men, any household you are not a part of, you have no say in. True enough. So the first thing, if we want to protect these black children, and if black lives really matter, then black families need to matter. If we don't have that, then everything else that we say, that we so-called fight for, is meaningless. And I mean the nuclear family. A strong father, a loving mother, and some kids to protect, provide for, look after, nurture. Once you plant that seed, you better watch it, water it, and tend to its growing. We too fly by night out here. And what really kills me more so than anything is that it seems like the parents of the kids nowadays that come up behind me, the parents are more concerned about what they're doing with their genitals than they are concerned about what they're doing with their kids. If we don't have strong black families, we don't have a strong black community. Point blank, period. So I don't want to hear about no community this, community that. When we would prefer to have the men weak, so they're unfit fathers. Because damn it, if that was my daughter, I'm busting down the door to get her up out of that situation. I'm not leaving it up to them white people. I'm not leaving it up to, ain't no white person on this planet, ain't no person on this planet can tell me once my seed comes and manifests and comes into this earth. Ain't a single person on their planet can tell me what to do with my children. And their mother has a say. But if we're split up and I see that you're abusing my child and I believe that you're abusing my child, it's a wrap. I don't care about any court orders. I don't care about any government sanctions. That's me and my child and we out of there that night. But in order to see, the thing is that black men have been held accountable for all of this time. All of this time. That's why the reverse, we're seeing in real time the reversal of narratives that I grew up with. Black men are terrible fathers or absentee fathers. I know men that are going through great lengths right now to remain in their children's lives. Extreme measures just to be present. So blame all men if you want to, but the men that are going to do the work will continue to. And the stats are going to show for themselves eventually. I just hope that the effects are reverse of what we're seeing nowadays are reversed before it's too late. And I know what the remedy is. Strong men at home. Tending to the family in the ways that they need to. But we'll have them leave every time. If they catch the blame for everything that goes wrong with no way to remedy it. I mean, imagine something that is not your fault, you're still blamed for, so you have no way or recourse to remedy the situation. It's still all put on you. Even when you leave. You know what I always find amazing is that when a father is present and doing everything that they're supposed to, even going above and beyond the call of duty, not to say that, you could do too much for your kid. Actually, no, you can't do too much for your kids. We saw that with Lil Romeo and Master P. I didn't talk about that story, but you can't spoil your kids. When men are going above and beyond the call of duty and doing everything that they're supposed to do, he's just supposed to. When a single mother, and that's fathers in a single situation or a family situation, he's just doing what he's supposed to. Don't thank him for it. Why does he need to be thanked? Why does he deserve things? He's doing what he's supposed to do. When women in single parent situations are having domestic violence situations, having men around their kids that the kids don't know, making them kids think that it's their uncle that ain't really their uncle. Having several men every week come through, having girls' trips, leaving the kids with the grandma. Oh, well, she did the best that she could. Mama gotta have a life too, right? But we're gonna continue to blame all men. If that's what you want to do. Let me know what your comments, questions. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, let me get them below. Worry observations, righteous discussions, unite people. Really tap in with me on these comments. I really want to see what your take is on everything that I addressed today. And let's have a solutions-based conversation. We already know what the problem is. Peace, love, health, wealth to you all. I'm out.